Hi, today I'm here with Oliver from Onduline. He is going to talk to us about the latest developments and innovations in roofing worldwide. So, how are you finding Roofing India Expo?
I found very interesting because what I was telling the team yesterday, it's pretty rare to have only roofing materials. So it's very comprehensive range of products. I think it's probably except China, that's the only country I can see only an exhibition only focusing on roofing. So that's quite good. Yeah.
So, how do you look at roofing market, emerging roofing market in India?
I think roofing market will grow. I think middle class is growing. So people are building houses or renovating houses. So the market is growing, and the market will continue growing for the coming years for sure. With a bit of change in terms of product, but okay, maybe might be the next question.
So, because your product primarily falling into the say little bit premium product range, and when you look at upper middle class and upper middle class category in India, how far they are adopting decorative roofing solutions?
I think you're looking at all the exhibition here. It seems there is a trend about people looking at product with good thermal performances. You have a lot of exhibitors showing thermal insulation and improved product. So definitely our product is already well performing in terms of temperature preservation, which today and when you see temperature outside is very good plus. We feel also that solar generation, solar photovoltaic, integrated photovoltaic will be one of the trends in the future. So definitely I think we see a switch, not only about aesthetic, but also more and more thermal performance in the product and the solutions.
Can you talk a little more about how you are incorporating solar technology into roofing?
We develop our own solution, which is a fully integrated solar tiles, which basically the solar tiles itself is doing also the covering. So no need to install solar panels on top of roof. We are doing that what Tesla was trying to do but did not achieve so far. So it's good. We see a potential on this one because it's combining aesthetic and solar and photovoltaic generation.
We talk about this solution. Your solutions provide sustainability one way or other by reducing temperature, inside temperature. How far these products are eco-friendly?
I would say compare with. It's always a matter of comparison with product. If you compare with, let's say, clay tiles, it's probably a bit on par. Of course, if you compare with simple metal sheets, galvanized sheets, this is much cheaper. So we are a bit on the higher range. But anyway, we have our customers. We can find clients who are willing to pay for both aesthetic, good performance product, not cheap.
How do you manage your logistics and supply chain here in India?
It has been. It's now we have our warehouse in Bangalore. It's probably something which has improved a lot in the last 5 or 6 years. I think it used to be very complicated. Now with a new regulation, it's much easier to move from one state to another state. So logistics has improved a lot in India, and the cost of logistics has also improved a lot. So that's one very good move in the country.
So while compared to importing these products to India, how far it will be financially viable for you to set up a facility in India?
Well, it's more an issue of developing enough markets, enough sales. It's probably we are building now a factory in Indonesia because we developed the market. So we know more or less at what level of sales we should be able to consider an investment in India. I think we need to sell 3 times more, but we can do it. Yeah. I think it's probably for us an option to look after because ultimately the market will develop, and definitely I think India will build the growth for the coming next 10 years and even more.
Yeah, you rightly said affordability in India is growing, but still the major concern is awareness.
Yeah.
So what kind of activities you do for expanding awareness about these products, especially among architects or roofing contractors?
Yeah, I think for us we have to extend our presence is first of all to have more salespeople. So we are recruiting salespeople to cover better India and of course because if we have distributors but you don't have salespeople at the end it's not working. So we need to go in parallel recruiting distributors, recruiting salespeople and expanding our business. Today we are essentially present in Karnataka, Kerala, a bit in Maharashtra. But we have to go beyond that, to go Tamil Nadu, to go more to the north. But still a lot of potential for us to grow. That's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what kind of lifespan these products offer to?
we have a 15 years waterproofing guarantee, which basically we commit to, and whenever there is a problem, we replace it.
That's the way how you do presently.
Yeah, I think it's in a way. I think it's if of course it has to be installed properly. We make sure that our installers are fully trained. We spend a lot of time in training our applicators. We used to say fabricators here in India. So I think it's very for us it's a critical point to ensure that fabricators are fully trained and well trained, and they know what are the key points to respect to guarantee good performance at the beginning, but also good performance over time. Because the climate here is demanding. I think it's very high UV exposed. I think roofing material. Basically, you have to sustain high UV and heavy rain sometimes. So it's a demanding climate. So we adjusted our formulation, but more important is to have a set of very well trained fabricators, respecting the full system, installing the full components, and respecting the instruction about the installation.
I was about to ask you this, like these products majorly we see in Western countries, European countries, where the climate is drastically different. And here we have a tropical climate.
Yeah.
So how you customize these products for Indian conditions?
I think it's basically we build up our first, in the region, we have our first factory in Penang in Malaysia. So we adjusted our recipe to, let's say, tropical equatorial climate, because you are right. I think if you are in temperate countries, I would say the level of exposure is probably 2 or 3 times less. I think it's what is lasting 20 years in let's say in France, for instance, probably in India will last at best 10 years. So we have to change our recipe to put much more resin and protection on our products to make sure that we can sustain the stronger environment, the stronger climate, and in a way, I think it has been probably the same to all our competitors' solutions. You have to adjust your product to the reality of the country you are operating.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And here in India, you are present for a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm around 2 decades almost.
I think we started with distributors. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, I think 2 decades. Yes.
Because I remember 15 years back, I interacted
I
with
think
somebody.
we opened our subsidiary in about 15 years ago.
Yeah,
But the
absolutely.
first distributors, I think, was probably 2002, something like that.
Absolutely. And what lessons you learned in this duration about Indian market?
I think it's in a way a lesson that we learn also from all the other countries we are operating. It's first of all you need to adjust your product to the reality of and the conditions you are working with. If you are in the Philippines, you have typhoon, so here you have intense UV. So I think it's very important to adjust your solutions and your product to the reality of the country. Then you have to rely on local people. I think you have even if distributors in all countries in a way have more or less the same way of thinking. But you need to have your local team to be able to understand your value, but also to explain what is specific to the country. In order we make evolution, we bring new ideas, new technology to the country. So it's very on one side we are multinational with a global presence, but each country is unique, and in each country we have a team of local people. We recruit, we train, but after they have to bring to us also what's specific for the country, and we have to adjust. Nothing is perfect. Flexibility is critical. I think agility, flexibility, keep it simple, and let's do it.
I'm sure that must have taken something away from you for learning this. Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us. It was great interacting with you.
You're welcome. Thank you for
Olivier.
that.